Hi everyone, another midweek mindful moment. And today's is maybe a little bit more around our anxious thinking, but I still think it's how we can bring our mindfulness and our understanding back to our thoughts that create our feelings, and that's creating how we're experiencing something at any given moment. And that always comes from the inside out. So it always starts with our thoughts, which leads to feeling, which leads to whatever we're experiencing. So we are creating our experience at any given moment through our thinking. And today's little kind of tip is really around fact checking our thoughts. So sometimes, and I'm sure I've definitely had this, and I'm sure we've all had moments where we can get really caught up in our thinking, and sometimes it's really helpful, especially if we're feeling quite anxious or stressed, that we can kind of fixate on a lot of these thoughts that are popping through our head at that time, which isn't always really helpful because it ends up us kind of going through scenarios or fixating on particular thoughts that aren't really helpful. And then that's creating feelings that maybe aren't feeling great. And we're not having a good time with what we're experiencing. So, understanding that it can be really helpful to kind of fact check our thoughts. And the simplest way that I've kind of found of doing that is just literally playing a wee game of truth and lie with ourselves. So as stuff is kind of popping through our heads, just fact check it. Just be like, well, is that a truth? Or is that a bit of a lie? Or a big fat lie? I don't know. Stuff can pop through our head and we're kind of like, we don't have to believe every thought that we have. We have up to 85,000 thoughts going through our head at any given day. I have no idea how scientists actually measured that, but that is what they say how many thoughts pop through our head on average 65 to 85,000 thoughts a day. Obviously, not every single thought that goes through our heads is true. Half of them are utter shite, half of them are utter nonsense. Half of them are repetitive thoughts that just pop through over and over and over and over again. You know the ones I'm talking about. So we don't have to believe every thought that we have, and our thoughts are fluid. They come and they go, and they come and go depending on maybe where we're at, how we're feeling. If we're in a particularly low mood, maybe you notice there's certain repetitive thoughts that come up more than others. Women, it is hormonal as well. I definitely notice at certain times in my cycle when I feel a lot of my thoughts are a lot, there's not a lot of self-love thoughts going through at those times. Just for my period, I always feel really shit about how I look, how I feel. I know that that's my hormones. I don't listen to that shit. I just kind of write it out and know in a few days it'll pass. So start becoming aware of the thoughts that are popping through your head, maybe the times of that they're popping through their head for you, and just fact check. Fact check the shit out of them. Is it truth or is it a big fat lie? And the more you can do this, the quicker you can let go of some of those thoughts that you can outright identify as a lie, or maybe it's an unknown, maybe not a lie, maybe a lie is pretty strong. But if it's something that you're mind reading something in the future that you have no idea if that's true or not, just kind of challenge that and fact check it and be like, well, actually, that's not the truth. That's not an exact given. And just let that one go. And it really is as simple as that. Because once you bring your awareness to it, kind of bring the light onto those thoughts, you can start to see them for what they are. And once you can kind of do that, it helps release some of that emotional attachment that you might have to them. And it means that stuff can just keep on flowing. If you think of that conveyor belt, sometimes when we really fixate on thoughts, it's kind of putting a block on that and everything's building, building, building up. And when you unblock that and kind of be like, oh, that's a lie, let that one go on by, then everything else can start to flow easier too. I'm not saying you're going to feel amazing straight away, but I'm going to say that that's going to help unblock things for you to kind of keep moving through. So fact check your thoughts. Are they truth or are they a lie? See how you find that, just bringing your awareness to it, knowing that our thoughts create our feelings and that creates what we're experiencing at any given moment. So it's coming from the inside out, it's coming from our thinking. And the quicker we can bring our awareness to those thoughts, the easier it can be to move through some of the feelings we've got. Let me know how you find that, and I will see you soon. Bye for now.